Hello, 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 amigas, and welcome to Amiga Entrepreneurship Podcast. Okay, so I have this beautiful soul. Her name is Christina D. Gallegos, who is a seasoned executive and consultant with over 2 decades of experience at the intersection of product leadership, strategy, pricing, and operations. As a CEO and founder of Gradient Coast LLC, she helps organizations ranging from Fortune 50 giants like Google, Disney, J&J, Coca-Cola, and Nielsen to agile startups. She drives positive change through innovative product and pricing strategies, amiga. Christina thrives on solving complex challenges, building high-performing teams, and creating exceptional user experiences. She's known for identifying untapped market opportunities, optimizing revenue through strategic pricing and segmentation, and bringing transformative products to market. She's a dynamic leader and consultant. She's so passionate. She mentors many talent individuals, and she engages directly with users, organizations, and integrating new products. Amigas, the things that she has done, you have seen and touched, and you are in for an amazing treat. So without further ado, this is Christina D. Gallegos. Hello, 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 amigas, and welcome to Amiga Handle Your Shit podcast. How incredible it is to have this beautiful soul in front of me. Her name is Christina, who happens to be my sister's name, so that's why I will forever remember her. Christina D. Gallegos, and I had the pleasure of meeting her at Latinas in Tech. And let me just say, this woman is a true business leader. She is a technology and business leader. She is a Google, Disney, J&J, Coca-Cola alum. Okay, how incredible that we have a Latina at the seat of these tables. So, amigas, this is it. You're in for an amazing treat. And I'm just so happy that she's here to share her nuggets, her wisdom in technology spaces, especially with these big corporations. And now she is the CEO and founder of Gradient Coast LLC. And she's going to talk about that as well. So, amigas, I have the pleasure of introducing my beautiful soul friend here, Christina Gallegos. Welcome to Amiga Handle Your Shit podcast, Christina.
Thank you so much, Jackie. So happy to be here and be with everyone here on the call or on the video soon. So excited to be here and looking forward to our conversation.
Oh, absolutely, amiga. So before we jumped on a while back, we were having this deep conversation about where we're from. And as it turns out, she is a native Californian. So I'm just excited that she's here to tell us all about that. But she's Latina. So what I always do with all my guests, I always want to know, like, where are they from? Like, where did it all start? So rather than me saying it, Christina, why don't you share with us where you're from?
Sure. Yeah, happy to do it. Like you said, I'm native California from Southern California. I did a small stint when I was at Google for about 10 years in Northern California, in San Francisco in the South Bay area. But originally from here, from Orange, I was born in Los Angeles and then pretty much grew up in Orange County, California. I did undergrad at Cal State Fullerton, go Titans, and then I did my master's, my MBA at Pepperdine up in LA. So proud local Southern California, and then, like I said, small stint in Northern California. So from here, families from here, love the sunshine, love the weather. I have moved abroad a bit, lived in Asia, lived in Europe for a small stint, but always come back down here to Southern California to my roots. I love the sunshine.
Oh, I know, right? It's like sometimes when the fires broke out here in LA, I thought, don't tell me I have to move. I mean, it was sad.
The ocean is just so calming.
Yes, it is. It is. And it's got the perfect weather, I do have to say, traveling all over the world. And as you were saying that you've lived in Asia, I mean, whew. So let's get in. Let's unpack all this, because you've traveled all over the world. And you decided to go into the tech space. And so one of the things I like to always share with amigas is like the reasons How? Because tech and Latinas, not very common.
So
And
true.
I know that you've been in spaces where you probably were like the one, the only, the minority. And so let's go and unpack this. So I know that you worked at Google, Disney, J&J, Coca-Cola. So let's just give us like a let's start at the starting point. Why did you decide to get into tech?
I had been in more consumer products. I went into Google from Johnson and Johnson, so I was in healthcare for a bit, and before J&J, I was at Coca-Cola, which is consumer products, fast-moving consumer products, and before that, I worked in entertainment and media with Disney. And so tech was just a natural progression of taking all the skills that I've learned and then actually leveraging technology and growing even faster with Google and with technology. So I took a lot of what I learned in previous roles to tech, and then it was obviously it still is one of the fastest growing areas, environments. And I mentioned this before at the conference, and I said, technology is like water. It's literally everywhere, any industry, you're going to know and need technology to help improve the way you work, help be more efficient, help grow. And I think having that skill set and being in that area and that industry definitely was an area that I wanted to move into. And so it was just a great progression into that from the other industries that I had been in. So I made the move and moved up to Northern California. I was at kind of the heart of Silicon Valley, with one of the big tech companies in the world. And it was an amazing experience, and I'm glad I was able to do that. And to your point, I was, the only one in many meetings. I might have been the only female, but I was always only female Latina. So it was kind of a double only, I guess you could say. So it was an amazing experience. And I'm glad I had the opportunity to do it. I'm glad I had the opportunities at Google to grow even more and to take more classes and learn more. And having that growth mindset really allowed me to continue forward and to succeed not only what I had done before, what I was currently doing, and then now where I'm consulting with Gradient Coast.
Oh my goodness. Oh my God. There's so much to unpack in that, what you just said. I mean, okay, so tech is like water. And it is. It just flows. It just doesn't have any boundaries if you think about it, right? So I know that one of the things that you do is you're improving lives around the world with technology. So could you share maybe from one of your prior companies, like what specifically did you work on improving our world with technology?
I think when I think back to some of the technologies that we were able to help and improve on, I would say when I was with Google, one of the products I worked on over the 10 years or so was with Google Maps. And then helping folks essentially navigate, find their way, even during the Ukraine-Russia war that's going on now. We essentially allowed users to have an offline map available to them if the cell phone service was removed in their area, in their region. So we sent a notification to all users saying, just informing them to download an offline map now, and you'll have a pretty substantial area around you that will stay current for the certain amount of time being that they're offline. So providing access to folks to navigate, to find things. Even during the wildfires here in California, we'd also send notices and notifications to users, letting them know to download that offline map that had almost a couple 100,000 miles around them radius, so that if there was an emergency, you lose service, you're able to have that map on your phone wherever you are, even in your car. So working on maps for mobile as well as maps for automotive, you're able to download those offline maps and have those available to you in times of need and emergency. So doing those small tweaks and allowing users to have those, almost up to a year, to have those on their phone or have them on their car, you're able to access those instead of having it expire after, I don't know, a couple weeks, or some other products do that. But we had allowed folks to have those up to a year to have that offline capability so that you can navigate. And so being able to provide that to users, not only just locally in my region, in my area, but literally around the world, in certain parts where they actually do need that information, it's crucial. So having that was pretty amazing, and to touch those many people.
Oh my God. You know what, when you were talking about this, two things came to mind for me, which was the Thomas Guide. I don't know if you
Oh
were
yes.
around when that happened.
The paper, big
The
thick
paper,
book.
yes. Imagine how, and you being is so instrumental in guiding people just by your hand. I mean, literally,
Hmm.
like just guiding them to their desired destination.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
It's
you,
like Thomas books in the palm of your hand, essentially.
oh my God.
You could take it versus carrying a giant book wherever you go, where it said, you'd go to the back of the page and it'd tell you like what grid number and what page, and you'd have to go to the page and find the grid, and then you could find out what piece of the map that you're looking at.
I mean, this is incredible to be part of it, as not only, just being a part of this technology, but como Latina, a woman, being a part of that. So is this, when this was created, was this team fairly large, or does it just take a few amount of people to create this?
It was fairly large. It definitely takes a village to put all those pieces together. It starts really with one idea, and then essentially creating a product requirement document of what challenges or problems are we trying to help solve, what users are we helping to solve for, and essentially building out that story, the user journey, the use case, and then being able to work with all the partners that are involved in it. So it definitely takes a village to put that together. It's not just one person, it's definitely a team where you work together, you understand the goal, the challenges, the solutions, and then you go forward with the timeline, and then you build it, iterate on it, and then provide it to our end users so that you can help them, and then you work with folks to get that communication out. So it's a multi-stage process, and it's definitely a team project.
Can you share with us another multi-team project, whether it's in Google or in other companies that you've worked on?
Sure. Pretty much every company, it's usually a team that starts with one person or one idea. Even, with Disney working on seasonal events, there was one called like Mickey's Halloween Treat or Mickey's Trick or Treat Time during the Halloween time for kids and
Yes.
families to come and visit Disneyland resorts. Working on that project, essentially reevaluating it, updating it for users to come and to visit the parks during the evening because they want a safe environment to go trick or treating.
Right.
Sometimes maybe neighborhoods they might not have it, but if you're able to go to Disneyland and actually go trick or treating at different stations and have that whole family event. So I worked on that project for strategy and pricing, essentially. Again, looking at who are the users and how are we trying to help them, what problems do they have, and so if they're not able to trick or treat in their neighborhood, we have a session or event at Disneyland, and having essentially an overall day or evening event for them. So it goes along for 7 or 8 nights, I think it was. And then we'd actually go through, and that definitely takes a village because it's an entire Disney park that's opened. And
Right.
every piece of it really has to come together for the overall experience, as we say at Disney, and the show for
Yes.
our guests, because no
Yeah.
one's really a consumer; they're all guests into the home of Disney. So we essentially try to have a great experience for all of them. So that definitely takes a village because you're literally face to face with those folks and helping families, enjoying the time. So that would be a pretty amazing event. That's still going on to this day. I don't know if it's still called Mickey's Trick or Treat Time or Halloween Time. But
Yes.
with the like kind of a fall event usually in
Yeah.
October.
You know what? Our family goes to Disney every year. Like it's like a full-on event. And
That's
so,
actually my first job was Disneyland. When I went to Cal State Fullerton, my undergrad was business marketing, and my first job in high school, or actually like I was a seasonal cast member at Disneyland. And
no
then
way.
I worked there when I was at Cal State Fullerton and boomerang back to Disney corporate side after my business school, my MBA. So
Did you ever think that would happen?
no,
Like,
I
I
didn't
mean,
think I'd
it's
be
like-
back
it's like-
after being in high school and then going to grad school and then coming back on the corporate side. But yeah, Mickey Mouse is my first boss.
Oh my God, Mickey Mouse is your first boss. I love that. But it's true, right? It is true.
Exactly.
But so you never know what life is going to bring you, because you started off as a cast member for Disney, and now you created this full on environment for families that love to be there. How does it feel like when you're done with these huge projects that help immense amount of people? How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel really happy and just proud to be able to bring those experiences and help solve problems for users, for consumers, for people, for families. You're just really happy about it. So especially being at Disney, you could actually go into the park and interact with families, interact with the guests, actually see how much they're enjoying it and the memories that they are taking from it. Was pretty amazing to be part of that, just to be a small piece of that, to help them experience. And then of course, extremely happy and grateful for the opportunity to help folks who have to download a map. It's for survival essentially, especially with the wildfires. You can download an offline map, and that's literally changing their lives in a different way, where they're able to navigate out of a danger zone essentially. So that's pretty amazing to be part of that, and to be a small cog in that in that partnership and helping those folks.
Wow. I mean, this is incredible. I really admire what you're doing because you're solving big problems. And is there a big problem you're solving now in your line of business at Gradient?
It's really about helping small and medium-sized businesses bring technology into their organization, and also helping them improve operations. So operations improvement, optimization, we know that is really hard to hire sometimes, maybe a labor shortage. How do we overall improve their operations? How do you help them even bring in technology to help their team become more efficient and more effective? And then essentially help them, their team learn about different technologies. Now everyone's discussing how do you leverage AI and not jump all in, but maybe kind of tiptoe into it. What can help you help your business? And it's not just about shiny objects of like what's really going to move the needle, what's really going to help you, and what could you do to improve your operations at the same time. Are there any other strategies that you need help with, from a go-to-market strategy? If you're thinking about building something, is that the right product that you should build for your users? Is that the right problem you're trying to solve? So it's really about like operations improvement, helping them identify problems and challenges that we can really help their company and provide some solutions for them. And then of course looking at the technology aspect, if they need help just navigating some of those things, because it's really about bridging that business piece as well as the technology piece, and just being an advisor if they need someone to kind of help them talk through with their IT vendor, to have conversations about it. So it's not necessarily implementing everything, but it's really about being that advisor on the technology side, and connecting with them. And then so it's a different way, different problems, but ultimately there's always challenges out there for businesses. And so I'm able to bring experience from Disney, Coke, J&J, and Google, as well as other companies, of how do we help them. This is what we did. These companies, these are some things and strategies you can try. Let's go through it and kind of really work with them. So it's been pretty amazing.
Yeah, I can imagine. So what was that moment that you said that you're going to branch off from corporate America and jump into what's it called, becoming your own CEO and founder of your own company? So what was that impetus behind?
I think probably, I mean, I've been at Google probably about 10 years. I was in Northern California. My family was down here. My parents are getting older. So from kind of family health reasons, I think it was just the right time. It was a good time to go. And I mean, I still loved, working up there. I have really great friends up at Google. I still stay in contact with them, but being able to have the opportunity to say, okay, I think this is the right time to help companies. And I had some companies reach out to me about consulting, and so I wasn't able to do that, working at Google.
Right.
So, and then at the same time, I had some health challenges within my own family, and so they're all down here in Southern California. So I think it was just kind of a combination of like looking at, first and foremost, be there for my family. So I moved from San Francisco to Southern California, and then I was able to be here for my family at the same time. I was able to help some companies who had reached out about helping them, essentially. So it was, it turned out to be like the right time. And so I think 10 years is great. Like I said, I love Google. I can always, go back to them or reach back out to them and help them. And I'm definitely an advocate of their products. I still continuously learn even new things that they're coming out with.
Right.
And so being involved with that. So I think it was kind of a combination of those things that allowed me to move on and become my own consultant and hang my own shingle, so to speak.
Yes, and create such a wonderful company for small, medium, and large, right? To
Exactly.
consult, and so you can be there as like a fractional operations. Okay.
Fractional operations or strategy, even product, because I did product management also at Google within the maps. So we essentially built those products. So I'd originally started within the business side, undergrad marketing and my MBA in finance, and I worked in strategy and pricing, revenue management. I moved into operations and then went into technical product management at Google. So building products for users. So that allows me to have that bridge of like the business side and the technology side for businesses. So I've been on both.
Well, you've got it all. You got it all. That's for sure. So, what would you say for that person? Because you've done all operations, product. I mean, tech, everything. For that person that is on the fence, that they want to take their side hustle, their side project to become a company, are there, essentials, things that you must have before taking the leap in creating your own company? In your experience?
I mean, that's a great question. I think everyone is a little bit different, but ultimately having a plan, essentially, some steps and a goal of like, what do you want to do? What do you want to accomplish? And having things listed out for you so that you can actually, they always say, like work your plan or plan your work and then work your plan, so to speak. So essentially, list out the things that you want and have kind of, it's not always a clear exact goal, but you know what you want to do kind of same way we approach a product, like what are the problems you're trying to solve? Who's your user? Essentially, who's your target user and what are their challenges and problems? And then how can you make a product, your services, to help solve those problems. So really kind of go through that called design thinking essentially. So have an idea. You don't necessarily have everything, detailed out, but have that overarching plan and approach. Are you going to do it? I think is important to have. And of course, I mean, financial aspect of it. So have, a financial cushion for yourself. So not only you need to have a plan and put some strategy together, but you also need to have a financial cushion because unless you have some sort of backing already, but that's another, obviously, a huge piece of what you're doing. And then, of course, your go-to-market plan of how are you actually going to get these potential clients or customers. So there are three areas of putting together your plan, understanding your users, understanding the things that you're going to help them with and their challenges, having a financial plan as well, understanding how you're going to support yourself for a certain amount of time. And then three, really, how do you go to market? Like, how are you going to get those clients now that you have, your plan that you want to help them? So it's really getting that business, kind of like always be selling, always be closing, things like that. So I think those two areas.
When you say always be selling, always be closing, it gets so like, oh my God.
Yeah, and you have to just, gotta have some gumption. You need to be tenacious, have gumption, and just go for it.
Yeah.
Really. Because it is, I'm sure it will get lonely at times when you're just hustling. I mean, they say you're always kind of farming and hunting or hunting and farming.
Yeah.
So you just need to have that drive really to keep going, be that tenacious and have that tenacity. Grit, all those combined, you just need to pull them all up and go for it, really, because it's definitely not an easy endeavor. But you need to, have that drive, have that gumption, so you have those things set in place, and then you go forward.
Yeah. Well, and how do you find just time to be more on the ease side? Do you not? Like it's all about that and don't stop, or
I definitely relax, like to kind of decompress and relax.
Yes.
So I used to do triathlons. So I'm an Ironman triathlete. So I live closer to the beach, so I'll go run at the beach. I'll go running, biking, swimming, and that helps to clear my head sometimes and kind of level set. And then of course being with family, I get to see my parents and family at least once or twice a week. So that also kind of brings you back to normal. So you kind of get level set when you're with your family. So really just like staying up to, healthy running, biking, swimming. And then I do some volunteering as well with the university. And so, talking with current college students and working with them helps to ground you as well and understanding what are folks doing today and how are they growing, how are they building their career. So not only just keeping, your body healthy, keeping your mind healthy and up to date, and connecting with folks, and of course your heart healthy with your family.
For sure. For sure. We do need that, right?
Yep.
So, as you were saying about volunteering and mentoring young ladies and or boys too, how do you see the future with our newer generations in tech? Do you think it's mostly going to be tech driven nowadays?
I think tech will be in a lot of things. I mean, they're all very, digital natives. They say they've grown up with tech their entire lives.
Right.
But there'll always be, some areas where you're going to need, those personal interactions. Tech won't be able to solve the one-on-ones. If you have a conversation with someone, you need those soft skills to talk to folks and connect with folks. And the tech helps enable certain things, but it doesn't do everything. Right. Even with some of the trades, I had to have a plumber out. I don't, they use technology, but you're still going to need to have a plumber come out.
Come out.
Yeah,
right.
Like construction, a lot of the trades, you still need folks to actually do the work, but then they also leverage a lot of technology when they're in the field. So there's technology everywhere, in every industry. And I think students and younger folks now they just grew up with it. So they're using to leverage it even more so, and they're becoming even more effective and more efficient, which is pretty amazing. So it's always great to just stay, having a growth mindset, I say. So I continue to take classes and continue to learn. So you're never, having a static, set of skills. It's about having that growth mindset, continuously learning new things and connecting with folks, having them challenge you, so you can learn more. And that's what really helps to mentor and work with young folks in the university level, because they're always looking to new things and have those conversations. So I think in the future, I think it's going to be pretty amazing. There'll be new industries, new areas, new technologies that are going to be coming out.
Yeah, no, I know. Well, I do have to say that I was a bit frightened by a statistic that was shared at Latinas in Tech about how AI is going to overtake 800 million jobs in 5 years. And I thought, oh my God. But then I come back to okay, but when that goes away, others come in. Mm-hmm. And so I feel that that's what you're saying. It's like you constantly have to grow. You constantly have to feed into your mind and have this growth mindset so that, again, you're not the one that is displaced. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah, exactly. So I think, some jobs AI may, own now, but then at the same time, it may create other jobs. So it's always going to be, to your point, ebb and flow, and you need to have a growth mindset of, okay, I don't know how to do it, but I'll figure out how to do it. That's exactly how we were at Google. If I didn't know something, then I need to read a bunch of documentation on it. I need to talk to a lot of folks. I need to research a lot of folks so that I become more versed in that subject. So instead of just kind of putting your head in the sand, you have to face it and go for it and say, okay, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to learn how to do it. And I don't know what I don't know, but let me figure it out. So that's kind of the mindset, you have to say, I don't know what I don't know, but I'm going to, go out here and try to learn what I don't know. And I may fall on my face. That's fine. I could get up, dust myself off, keep going. That's the biggest thing. Because you're always going to fall. Everyone's always going to trip. Everybody's always going to fall. But the difference is, how do you get up? Do you get up and kind of wipe yourself off or dust yourself off and then say, keep going? Because, we've all fallen lots in our lives.
Yes.
And you could tell, you just got to keep up. Really.
Absolutely. I always say, fail fast so that you get to learn quicker.
Fail fast, fail early, recover quickly.
Yes, absolutely, Amiga. So I'm really thoroughly enjoying this conversation, but I know that our time is coming to an end. But before we end, I always ask my amigas if they can share 1 or 2 tips on how an amiga can handle her shit. So I'm curious to find out what you think.
How I can handle it. I would say, kind of what I was saying before, is just be tenacious and have the grit. You have to keep going. I've been told no many, many times, and I'm a woman, I'm Latina, and so I'm sure a lot of women or men and women who are listening to this will be able to relate. But you just need to keep going. You gotta have that, like you said, handle your shit. Get the grit and pick yourself up and keep going, and dig in. really.
Right.
So I think like, I know, should just be tenacious and have that grit to keep going forward and have a goal in mind. If you're on the way to something, put it up on a post-it. I have like post-its on my wall that, give me my own personal motivation. So I
Yeah.
see it every day, even with triathlon. When I did Ironman, I had, my training schedule every day and had motivational post-its up there for me. So to keep me going, I think really just to have that plan and to move forward. So
Right.
it's really just kind of that daily thing. And sometimes you're gonna, have a bad day, and that happens. That's normal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone does that, but you got to keep going. You have a goal in mind, and you have to do it. So I remember, like, I did Kilimanjaro a couple of years ago. I had
Oh my
Kilimanjaro
God.
in Tanzania, and I had this post-it that said, like, no one is going to climb the mountain for you, so you have to get out and go practice, or get out and go hike, because no one's going to take a selfie for you. You need to be up there, take your own selfie on the top
Right.
of that mountain. No one else is going to do that for you. So you have to get out, put in the time so that you can do it. Not many people are going to advocate for you, so you have to do it yourself and then move forward. So I would say, and that was a lot of things, but really it comes down to just having kind of your own plan, being your advocate, have the grit and tenacity, and keep going.
Yeah, you got to keep taking that selfie on top of that mountain, and you're doing that at every interval. That's fantastic. So, Christina, is there anything you'd like to share with us before we end this conversation?
Just thank you so much for the opportunity, and thank you to everyone who is going to listen and hear this. Happy to help you, connect with you. Happy to even have a conversation about your business or technology. Just reach out to gradientcoast.com, or you can find me on LinkedIn. Happy to have that conversation and call. But thank you again. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Amazing. Thank you so much, Christina, for being here on Amiga Handle Your Ship podcast. And I know that I'll see you around because you're here in Southern California. So while the counties are huge, we still have our cars and we can meet up. Well, thank you so much, Christina.